Most people are waiting. Waiting for permission. Waiting for proof. Waiting for someone to finally look them in the eye and say you are ready now. But that moment rarely comes. Not because you are incapable. Not because you lack talent, intelligence, discipline, or potential. It does not come because the world does not hand out permission slips for greatness. Think about it. The people who built companies from nothing, who transformed their bodies, who rebuilt their lives after failure, who changed history in quiet and loud ways, they did not wait to be crowned. They decided. They made a private decision long before there was applause, long before there were results, long before anyone believed in them. And that decision changed everything. There is a quiet power in 3 simple words: act as if. Act as if you are already the best version of yourself. Not in an arrogant way. Not pretending. Not performing confidence like it is a costume you wear to impress others. This is deeper than that. This is about the choices you make when no one is watching. The food you choose when you are stressed. The way you speak to yourself after a mistake. The discipline you hold at 5 in the morning when your alarm goes off and every part of you wants to stay in bed. Let me ask you something. If you truly believed you were the best version of yourself already, how would you show up tomorrow morning? Would you hit snooze 3 times? Would you scroll your phone for 40 minutes before getting out of bed? Would you skip the workout you promised yourself? Or would you stand up with purpose, move your body, nourish it properly, and begin your day with intention? This is not about ego. The truly great rarely announce themselves. They do not need to. They carry a standard. And that standard shows in how they live, in how they treat people, in how they handle pressure, in how they respond when things go wrong. Every transformation begins in a moment the world never sees. It is not the promotion, not the championship, not the before and after photo. It is a private decision about identity. Who am I? Not who do I hope to be someday. Who am I choosing to be now? When Muhammad Ali called himself the greatest, people laughed. But he had already decided in those early mornings in the gym. When the air smelled like sweat and leather, and there was no audience except his own reflection, he trained like the greatest. He spoke like the greatest. He believed like the greatest. The world eventually caught up to what he had already decided internally. Here is a truth most people are never taught. Identity is not the reward for achievement. Identity is the engine of achievement. If you keep telling yourself, I will believe in myself when I see results, you will keep waiting. Because results follow belief. Belief does not follow results. In health and fitness, we see this all the time. Someone says, I will start acting disciplined when I lose 20 pounds. But the person who loses 20 pounds first decides, I am someone who takes care of my body. I am someone who does not skip workouts. I am someone who chooses nourishing food over convenience. The identity comes first. The weight loss follows. Psychologist William James once said, act as if what you do makes a difference because it does. Every action you take is a vote for the person you are becoming. Every time you choose water over soda. Every time you go for a walk instead of staying on the couch. Every time you prepare a healthy meal instead of ordering fast food. You are casting a vote for your future identity. But here is where it gets difficult. The moment you decide to show up differently, something inside you pushes back. Your brain loves what is familiar, even if the familiar is unhealthy, even if it is average, even if it is keeping you small. Psychologists call this cognitive dissonance. That uncomfortable tension you feel when your new identity clashes with your old habits. You wake up early with intention. Then you feel the urge to scroll your phone. You commit to clean eating. Then your mind whispers, just this once will not hurt. You want to speak up in a meeting. Then your old fear tells you stay quiet. Who do you think you are? That inner resistance does not mean you are on the wrong path. It means you are growing. Kobe Bryant spoke openly about the internal war between comfort and greatness. He did not eliminate fear. He trained alongside it. He made discomfort normal. That is not talent. That is practice. The solution is not to fight yourself with anger. It is to anchor your actions to identity rather than emotion. You do not negotiate with brushing your teeth. You do not debate whether to breathe. In the same way, the best version of you does not negotiate with their standards. This is where a daily standard becomes powerful. Most people operate based on mood. They work hard when motivated. They eat healthy when inspired. They exercise when conditions are perfect. But motivation is unreliable. Inspiration is inconsistent. Conditions are almost never perfect. The best operate from a non-negotiable baseline, a daily standard, a minimum level of effort, integrity, and focus that shows up regardless of how they feel. Michael Jordan did not have good practice days and bad practice days. He had a standard. That standard showed up whether he felt like it or not. What would your daily standard look like? Maybe it starts with your morning. Before checking emails. Before social media. Before the news. You produce something that belongs to you. 30 minutes of focused work. A workout. A walk in fresh air. 10 pages of a book that strengthens your mind. The specific activity matters less than the pattern. You are reinforcing identity. And here is something important for adults between 25 and 65 especially. Your health is not just about today. It is about the next 20 years. Research consistently shows that small daily habits compound. 30 minutes of moderate exercise most days of the week can reduce the risk of heart disease, diabetes, and cognitive decline. Consistent sleep improves immune function and mental clarity. Balanced nutrition stabilizes blood sugar and energy levels. These are not dramatic changes. They are standards. There will be a season where you do the work and no one notices. No compliments. No visible transformation yet. No big breakthrough. This is where most people quietly give up. Not in a dramatic moment, but in a slow return to who they used to be. In that silence, a dangerous question appears: what if I am wrong about myself? What if I am not actually capable? That is the pinch point. The filter. Seneca wrote that it is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that things are difficult. Difficulty is not proof you are failing. Often it is proof you are on the right path. Think of a tree. Before you see it above the ground, its roots are spreading deep beneath the surface. Strength before visibility. Pressure before breakthrough. The effort you put in when no one is watching is not wasted. It is accumulating. Then one day something shifts. Not with fireworks. Not with a loud announcement. But quietly. You realize your discipline feels more natural. Your confidence feels less forced. The results begin to appear. James Clear describes this as the plateau of latent potential. For weeks or months you see little change. Then suddenly growth accelerates. But it was never sudden. It was compounded effort. Your confidence becomes a reputation first with yourself, then with others. Your discipline becomes default. Your standards become a filter that attracts better opportunities, healthier relationships, and environments aligned with who you have chosen to be. Eventually, you are no longer acting as if. You are simply acting. The gap between your identity and your behavior closes. This is what Marcus Aurelius pointed to throughout his life. Not a final destination, but a direction, a daily practice of becoming. So here is the invitation. Tomorrow morning before the world gets loud, make one decision the best version of you would make. Just one. Maybe it is going for that walk. Maybe it is preparing a healthy breakfast. Maybe it is speaking with calm instead of anger. Then do it again the next day. And the next. That is not hype. That is not motivation. That is practice. And practice sustained over time becomes a life. Act as if you are already the best. Because in the moment you decide, you begin to build the evidence. And eventually the world will not need to confirm it. Your actions will speak.